Hey everyone, we are here with the second lecture of SHRM. In this lecture, we will study about the evolution of SHRM, that is summarized here. From personnel management to HRM. Basically, personnel is the employee who is working in an organization. Traditionally, it was the initial stage to perform the HR function in the managerial setup in the form of personnel department. Basically, there was a personnel department that their main function was the staffing and maintaining labors in the organizations. Then to set up the centralized and bureaucratic with some old traditional approaches. It was not used at the involvement of competitive strategies areas of business. And it was done before the year of 1970. The emergence of HRM as a replacement from personnel management was taken up. Basically, it was changed from personnel management to HRM. The main task for HRM to ensure the achievements of organizational goals through the committee of people, and is often believed in that HRM is not just a more modern term as compared to the traditional personnel management. This was thought so, but it's not. From HRM to SHRM, first of all, it was what? It was personnel management to HRM. Now it is from HRM to SHRM. For the last 4 decades, it was the dynamic and competitive business environment resulting from globalization has led top managerial cadres to bring a new focus on HR to be organizes and manage. So now it has been the term the late 1980s and early 2000 witnessed an integrated approach that was developed between HRM and the business strategy. Basically, now the HR was an important part or an asset of the organization. Then more attention was given on the relationship of HRM with the strategic management. But in 21st century, the situation changed. The approach changed. It was a cognition HR approach. It was the HR learning approach. It was the knowledge of HR. It was the network of HR and HR development with a purview of strategic managerial scenario. Just because the thought process was that now the HR became the basic resource of the company. It was the proactive role of HR which had concerned with organizational effectiveness, strategic framework, behavioral aspect and resource utilization, capacity development and changes environment. Since the HR provides and contributes a lot of different competitive advantages to the organization, it is needful to integrate HR practices with the emergence of new strategical viewpoints of corporate business areas. Why it is so? Just because now the dynamic shift from the concept of HRM to strategic human resource management, the things begin to change. Just because we were living in that area in which human resource was begun to our asset, our strategies were begin to depend on the human resource. Basically, this process was linking human resource function with the strategic objective and to improve the organization performance. This all was for the skilled employee. This all was for the dynamic business world. Now no strategy matter how well designed will work unless the organization has the right people, right skill and behaviors, right roles, motivated in the right way and supported by the right leaders. So a company can develop a competitive advantage through a skill and competencies of its people. So to be successful, more value must be given to people. Now the strategic human resource management had become to desire the value of human or the employees who were working there, and those employees were only designed to help the organization. Now basically we can say SHRM is a philosophy of people management based on the belief that human resources are uniquely important to sustain business success. SHRM aims to ensure that the culture, style, and structure of organization and the quality, commitment, and motivation of its employees contributes fully to achievement of business objectives. Now we can see that HR strategy combines all people management activities in an organized and integrated program to meet the strategic objective of an enterprise. So basically, in one word, we can say that from personnel management to human resource management, and now being implemented the strategies that is called strategic human resource management. Now we will go for what? The definition of HRM. Basically, strategic human resource management is formulating and executing human resource policy and practices that produce the employee competencies and behaviors that company needs to achieve its strategic aims. Basically, this was the definition by Gary Dessler. According to Gary Dessler, we are having a lot of definitions here, but in one word, if we find out that basically it is the employment relations and organizations recruitment, training, development, performance management, and organization strategy policies that are being implemented here. So strategic human resource management can be defined as the planned human resource deployments and activities intended to enable the organization to achieve its goal, according to Ritten McMahon. Now we will talk about the nature of SHRM. The nature of SHRM can be oriented towards the focus of SHRM is long term, probably more than 1 year. Why it is long term? Because it is beginning with the setting of goals. It is setting the objective, formulating the policy, allocating the resources, and carried out all levels of top management. Interrelated with business strategy. Why it is interrelated with business strategy? Just because it gives significant input when business strategy is formulated and human resource strategies like recruiting, staffing, training, and performance appraisal are done. When we say about the corporate excellence skill, then SHRM considers employee as the strategic potential of organization, and it makes effort to differentiate the organization from its competitors presents in all market. It also promotes learning of modern skills. Now we are going towards the components of business strategic human resource management. Basically, it focuses on people, the primary resource, the competitive advantage of organization. Now it has highlighted programs toward HR policies, practices, means through which people organization can be deployed to gain competitive advantage. Now it plan imply that there is a fit between HR strategy and the organization's business strategy vertical fit. Vertical fit why? It is HR activity के बीच में और बिजनेस स्ट्रेटेजी के बीच में एक वर्टिकल और हॉरिजॉन्टल फिट देता है. द पीपल प्रैक्टिसेस एंड प्लान पैटर्न्स आर ऑल purposeful that is directed towards the achievement of the goals of the organization. So we can say that it is basically like this. SHRM can be defined purposeful, human resources, activities, pattern and plan. Purposeful in people activities, plans are directed towards the achievement of organizational goals. Human resources are primary competitive resources, activities of programs and practices that are means for deploying people of a firm to gain competitive advantage. And then pattern and plan. There is a fit between HR strategy and the firm, the business strategy and the business HR activities. So guys, this all for the day. Our lecture ends over here. We can find out that this all was very useful for us. See you in the next lecture.